Yo, what is going on, ladies, gentlemen, and whatever else you choose to identify as? It is your boy Cam from Tweeking Media, back at it again with another episode of Attack on Culture. If you are new and you're like, who are these idiots and what are they doing? This is our weekly nerd culture podcast. We talk about all things in the anime, gaming, comic book, TV shows, you name it. So stick around if you are a returning listener / viewer. Appreciate you. You are a real one. As always, thank you so much for the support. I am joined by my co-host, Trail Sav. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, what's popping?
And fresh out of the slave camp, the torture chamber, Bezos gave this man a 15-minute pee break. So, he had to take his water bottle and we had to rush the recording. The boy Chris J is back. Go ahead and say hi to the people.
Yo, what's good, man? Love y'all selves, G. Like I did, G, because look, man, this is crazy. Look, man, hey, things will be better. Should be better. That's all I would say. I made some executive decisions on my end, so I'm blessed.
Exactly. So we hear the 3 Sanin is back. So we got a lot of good things for y'all for this week's episode of Attack on Culture. We'll be talking about some games. Chris is going to be giving us an update on some anime things. I got a little movie review for y'all. We'll be talking about the alleged console killer, the Steam machine, Sony's waste of time. I mean, their state of play. And also, we're going to be continuing on our series that we started last week, where we're going to be looking at some of the previous Game of the Year awards and discussing a retrospective look on whether or not we think those games still hold up or not. Last time we did, I believe, was it 2014-2015, Day Trail?
Yes, sir.
So now this week we're going to be doing 2016-2017. So stick around for that. But before we get into that, real quick, go ahead and show this video some love. Like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Click on that bell icon to stay notified of all future posts that we make on this channel. And share this video across all your fellow nerds. Help us get to 1K subs, guys. That is our goal for the end of this year. Also, stay on the lookout for all the other content that we have available on this channel. I do Gotcha on the Gotcha, which is degenerate nerd gooner content. So if you are somebody who plays games like Honkai Star Rail, Triple Z, and Goddess of Victory, Nikkei, stick around. I took a little bit of a sabbat. I took a little break last week because I went a little bit too crazy the week before. But we should be back to our regularly scheduled program as far as weekly content is concerned for the games that I cover. We also have Views from the Couch, which is a series that Detrell and I do. We go with a little bit of a deep dive on some games that we can't necessarily cover on the podcast. Bless you. Be blessed. You be blessed too, viewers. And so last time we covered Ghost of Yote. So if you have not checked out our review for Ghost of Yote and you're interested to hear our thoughts on that, be sure to check it out on our Views from the Couch playlist on the channel. And we also have Threes from the Ring, which is our sports podcast. So, Chris, go ahead and get a people just a little snippet of what y'all talked about last episode and what you guys are going to be diving into for this week's episode.
Yeah, so last episode, we talked about the Mavs GM, the Dallas Mavericks GM losing his job in the most craziest way ever. But hey, it is what it is. So we deep dived into that and what the Mavs need to do. So if you are a fan of the Dallas Mavericks or even a hater of the Dallas Mavericks, check that episode out. And we did talk about wrestling as well with Cena finally becoming a Grand Slam champion. So check last week's episode out. And with this week's episode, more basketball talk, along with we're going to preview Survivor Series War Games. And once again, we're not looking forward to War Games.
War Games. All right, so if any of that is interesting for you guys, be sure to check that out in the Threes from the Rings playlist on our channel. Also, be sure to check out our social media. Links are in the description box below. TikTok at YTM Clips, Twitter at Attack on Culture, and Facebook at Tweeking Media. Again, links are in the description box down below. With all that being said, guys, let's get right into it. So I'm gonna pass it off to Chris. He hasn't been here for a while, so he got some things that he want to update you on as far as some anime that he's been catching up on. That I mean I watch anime, but I can't be bothered to keep you guys updated all the time. So Chris, go ahead, take it away. What you been watching?
Look, for one, once again, I apologize to our viewers, man. I haven't been on. My work-life balance is horrible. Shoot. I played the game and literally felt like, gee, I'm cheating myself. But it is what it is. But in terms of anime right now, gee, fall season's been a lot better than I expected. I think we've been very critical of My Hero on this podcast in the past, but I'm gonna sit and say this final season is what
They've
a
been going
final
crazy.
season should look. Look, like in terms, like I'm really hoping with Jujutsu Kaisen, Mappa and them, take notes because this is what I expect when you guys do that little survivor mode that y'all about to do in probably in a couple more years, unless y'all turn into a movie. But that's a different subject. But they have been killing it though. I forgot the studio who does My Hero's name.
Bones.
Bones. Y'all been doing it, G. Y'all been capturing the emotional aspect, even just perfectly, man. Just perfectly well, making these moments, especially the moments where I think when reading it, I was like, G, I don't care about what's going on in bro's backstory. I don't care about Shigaraki and his childhood traumas and stuff like that, but you're making it better. That's what you're supposed to do, is translate it and make it better. These moments that are very emotionally driven, better for the manga to anime watcher. So shout out to them for doing that. I believe it's only 4 episodes left. Also, shout out to the very much the Avengers Endgame moment from this week's episode that they had at the end with the 1A class 1A people popping up, having Deku's back. That was pretty cool. So shout out to them doing that. Another thing I've been watching, actually caught up on, and this is because of you, Cam. Tojima wants to be a comic writer. Look, man, this honestly, outside of My Hero, has been the best anime this season so far, bro. Like overall is the best. I binged it this past week. Look, man, these are really grown adults who really love the show Kamen Rider and said this is life, and even affected people who's like, you know what, I love the villains too, and I'm gonna want to be Shocker. I'm like, bro, this is insane. But these are regular, everyday people, even, and they really think they are these characters. G, it's hilariously delusional. But I love it though. This is very good, funny as hell. So I highly recommend if you haven't checked it out. I think I'm on this week's episode that came out, but I haven't watched it yet. But last episode where dude found out his girlfriend was part of Shocker, and his brother was like, "Gee, what is going on?"
So you gonna marry her or not?
What's going on? It's insane. But yeah, so shout out to that. Also, if you watch my preview, I was talking about the BBW anime. This is honestly a really good slice of life anime. It's not just, oh yeah, she's looking for love and relationships. It's a really good story so far. The BBW chick, she pretty much had to deal with pretty much learning who is pretty much the cause of her having amnesia, pretty much, who tried to take her out. Because as she's learning more, getting her memories back in terms of what happened, and figuring out like, oh, is it the guy? Does the guy who she has a crush on have a motive or aspect into it? Is like really interesting. So shout out to what they're doing with this. That's really good. And I will say this: I think we're on past episode 7. There has not been a recap episode, and no anime I've watched. So nobody's losing points for recap episodes. So shout out to it. But I still feel like they're gonna do it with My Hero. I have a sense of a feeling they're going to do it for My Hero. And that's going to kill everything every praise I've been given this season so far. But that's what's been going on with anime, y'all. So this season's been decent. Find something you like. If not, it is what it is. Because the winter season, busting. So
for sure. So that's it for anime. If you have been in tune with some of the anime Chris has talked about, or some other ones that we haven't checked out that you really do think we should check out, let us know in the comment sections down below. We may or may not get to it. It depends if it's a banger or not. But moving on to games. So I mean Chris don't play games, but me and Detro, we play games.
You work 6 days in a row, 12 in a row, 12-hour shifts. What is a PlayStation controller, G?
Paperweight. But anyway, on to there's 2 games we want to cover up. Obviously, an update. If you've been in tune with anything as far as TikTok algorithm, Dispatch. Final 2 episodes of Dispatch came out. I've been talking about Dispatch on a week-to-week basis. So obviously, I'm gonna talk about the finale, give you guys an overall, how I feel about the game, things of that nature. So first and foremost, I definitely am really glad that I picked up on this game. Like, I wouldn't say I'm like the biggest person when it comes to like these Telltale-esque games. Like, I really did like Wolf Among Us and also Walking Dead, but I haven't played like a lot of this stuff. But this game in particular has definitely been worth the hype and even the wait too. Even though, like I've said in my previous impressions, that I do think that you should just wait until the final game comes out and just play all the episodes through and through. It was kind of cool having that, like, oh dang, I gotta wait till like it was fun to look forward to Wednesday, because it's like, okay, I got some more Dispatch to play. So I really did enjoy that aspect of the game. The final 2 episodes, this was like, it's time to lock in mode. We got a lot of reveals, a lot of plot twists. So just want to say this: spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. If you have not played Dispatch, or maybe you want to watch your favorite content creator play and see their reaction to Dispatch, fast forward ahead. I always mark these episodes so you can just go section by section if you want to, but I will be talking about spoilers. So if you don't want to hear that, then skip. But I was right. Shout out to Blonde Blazer stocks going up. You know what I'm saying? I just want to say this first and foremost: if you chose Invisigal, you're not special. You chose the gamer girl. That's it. You literally chose the gamer girl. It reminds me a lot of Persona 5, like way back when. Now it's weird because like they're high schoolers. But like way back when Persona 5 came out, and everybody was like, oh yeah, Futaba is best girl. Why? Because she plays video games. It's the same mindset that I feel like when it comes to Invisigal. Like, most of y'all chose her because you saw that one scene at the beginning of, I believe, episode 4, and y'all some freaks. And y'all was like, I'm gonna choose Invisigal because of this. But hey, shout out to Blonde Blazer stocks. People had all these expectations or these theories that like, oh, Blonde Blazer is working for Shroud. No, it turns out Invisigal was working for Shroud. Turns out Invisigal was betraying you from the very beginning, and she's the reason why Mr. Robert Robertson was working at the SDN. It was because of Invisigal. So I like that. It's very funny too. I'm gonna go off on a slight tangent, but I really do like how basic, I don't know if that's the right word, Blonde Blazer's character is. It reminds me a lot of Superman. And here's where I'm going with this. A lot of media nowadays try to portray Superman as like this. Well, not now, thanks to James Gunn's Superman, which is really good. But back then, they tried to portray Superman as this dark, moody, edgy person. And it's like, the reason why Superman is a cool character, in my opinion, is because he just wants to be a good guy. He's just a dude who wants to be a good guy. He has powers and he wants to be a good guy. That's it. And I feel like a lot of when it comes to superhero media nowadays, it's cool to have a character, a superhero with layers. But man, sometimes I'm just like, can we go back to the old days when just superheroes just wanted to be superheroes because they wanted to do good? Not a traumatic backstory, not some edgy reason, just I have powers and I want to use them for good. And that's what Blonde Blazer was. I get it, y'all. She's a white woman and your Karen sensors were off. But she just wanted to be a good person. And that's what I liked about her character. So aside from the, whoever you chose, it doesn't matter who you chose in the end. They're both great characters. I will say, though, if I have to give some critiques, so Dispatch, I would consider to be a progressive game. Has a lot of things that a certain segment of people who, quote unquote, claim they play video games would call Dispatch woke, right? There's a lot of problematic things in Dispatch. I mentioned Invisigal's character, so I'll talk about this real quick and then I'll give my final impressions and my final review. Invisigal is a character where it's like, I don't know if the writers really took a look at exactly what she does. So there are several scenes that Invisigal does that I just think it's just like, again, if you're going to be progressive, if you're going to, embrace a lot of like things that we usually call out on, that we deem as problematic, you got to go the whole way. And I like to play this game called Flip the Script. Basically, you take the genders, you reverse the situations, and you look. If you think it is a problem with one gender, it's a problem with the other one. So there's a scene in in episode 4 where Invisigal basically goes into the men's bathroom to tell Robert that she had a dream that they had sex. Now, I want you guys, Chris Ditcher, I want y'all to imagine a scenario. Imagine.
I just thought about it in my head, folks.
Imagine. Let's just take it. Robert has invisible powers, Invisigal, and in the context of this scene, you have to understand that, like, so he previously had a conversation where he's talking to somebody, and some shrapnel got into his chest. So he's kind of like he's bare chest, trying to like take the shrapnel off in the bathroom. She pops up in the bathroom. Bear in mind, they're at work too. So this is at work. They're in a public bathroom, men's bathroom. She pops up. She says, I had a dream that we had sex. Imagine Robert has invisible powers. Invisigal is in the bathroom, bare chested, taking out shrapnel. Robert pops up in the girl's bathroom, turns to Invisigal while she's taking shrapnel out and says, I had a dream last night that we had sex. I mean, there's also another scene in episode 7 where once it's revealed that Invisigal was responsible for Mecha Man being destroyed, and basically this is also after the decision of whether or not you choose to cut her out of the team. Before she leaves, they're in the locker room. Before she, leaves and packs her stuff up, she goes invisible, pins Robert to the locker, and forces herself on him. Now they treat this as like a romantic thing because you get a choice in the game whether or not to lean in or like push her off of you. But yeah, flip the script. That's all I'm gonna say. It's not cool. Like, again, there's a lot of scenes in this game where, like, I feel like, again, and I'm not trying to get too deep, I'm not trying to get too political, but there is this stigma where if it happens to a man, it's funny, or, oh, it's just a man. But there's a lot of scenes in Dispatch that I'm just like, did you look at the script and realize just how weird this is? That's all I'm gonna say in regards to that. That's like my only critique. Again, like, if you're gonna be progressive, you gotta understand that, like, I'm gonna be looking at your stuff with a fine-tooth comb. And some of this stuff in the game, in my opinion, is probably I'm gonna call a spade. It's problematic. But overall, I did very much enjoy the game. The finale with the confrontation with Shroud was really good. There was a lot of really cool moments, really cool fight sequence. And the game ended in a way where it definitely does open up. They did confirm that there's going to be a season 2. So I'm very much looking forward to season 2 whenever that drops. But I will say that this is definitely, if you are someone who is a big fan, again, of Telltale-esque games, if you're a fan of like those, make like decisions that actually matter, because there are, depending on the choices that you make, there are various endings that you can get in Dispatch. So it definitely is a consequence-based game, and so I really enjoyed it. If I were to give it a final rating, I'm gonna be honest, I really enjoyed this game. I was looking forward to every Wednesday because I was like, okay, cool. After I'm done doing work stuff and stuff for Tweeking Media, I'm gonna lock in, sit down, and play some Dispatch. I'm gonna give this game a solid 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed this game. For the price, I think it's worth it, and I think that you are definitely going to be, eyes to the screen, paying attention. Great writing, great cast of characters, and overall great story. Again, there's some problematic things, but overall it is a pleasant experience in my opinion. So that's Dispatch. Again, if you played the game, let me know your thoughts in the comment sections down below. And just to give a very quick, because I'm still like in the beginnings of the game, I just recently got Digimon Time Strangers. Yes, I know this came out early in October, but I finally got around to actually playing the game. So I really enjoy it. I know a lot of people have made this as far as like comparing this to Pokemon Legends ZA. As someone who has played both games, I can definitely see why people would clown on Pokemon, because from an RPG, even though Legends ZA from jump was doing its own thing in terms of how the gameplay is presented, and I still enjoy that game for the most part. But I definitely see there's a lot, like as far as like the presentation of the story and the cast of characters, the gameplay. You definitely feel a little bit of that more love in the Digimon side of things than Pokemon, in my own personal opinion. Don't shoot me, Pokemon fans. It is what it is. But I think if you are someone, again, like a lot of people are like, well, if you didn't like Pokemon Legends ZA, if you don't like what they're offering, then go and play Digimon, because that they're going to give you what you are missing for in terms of like what you expect from a Pokemon game. I think that's very true. If you are someone who misses that turn-based action, that type matchup, you know, cultivating your own favorite Digimon, like based off of your favorites from the TV show back in the day or some of the TV shows or movies that are out right now, you're gonna get that. The premise of it is, I don't know how to explain it. Basically, like you go back in time to prevent the cat. You're going back in time 8 years ago because there's some war that's happening between Digimon that's basically going to destroy the entire world. So it's your job to prevent that by going back in time. So that's pretty cool, you know what I'm saying? So I think the story is what it is. I'm not like blown away by it, but it's something to keep me engaged. But I think the gameplay is where it's at, where you are, you know, again, you're farming your own, you're cultivating your own Digimon, you're evolving them, you are, you know, having those type matchups against certain types that are advantage or disadvantage. So, you know, it's there. If you played like any of the previous like Digimon, like kind of RPG games like Cyber Sleuth and stuff like that, it's there. That feeling is there. So all in all, solid game. Still continue to play it. I don't know if I'll beat it because my backlog is massive at this point. So, but it's a first world problem. It's a good problem to have. But I've been enjoying Digimon. And then real quick, right before we get into the news, one last thing. So I went with the homie, me and Beanos. We went to go see, even though I know this came out last week, but we saw it this week. Predator Badlands. So I've heard a lot of conflicting things about this movie. So I'm just gonna put a slight disclaimer. I'm not in tune with Predator like that. I'm just not. I don't really have much nostalgia for the first movies. Although, you know, get to the chopper, like, you know, I know the whole Arnold Schwarzenegger, like I know all that stuff, but I'm not like a super mega fan of Predator. So I have no stock in terms of like, you know, Predator fans going like, no, this is not Predator, blah, 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 blah. You're not going to get that from me. So that's a disclaimer. But aside from that, I enjoyed the movie. Like I said before, based off the trailers, it seemed like it was going to be a good ride. It is very much, it feels like a kind of like very similar to like Godzilla versus Kong or something like that kind of that level of like slight cheesiness, but you do get those epic battles. I like the cast of characters. I like the connection that the main Predator, I think his name was what was his name? I forgot. It started with a D. And his relationship with the Wayland Yutani android was pretty cool. And then they meet like a cute little mascot character that turns out to be really important to the plot later on. But like it's a solid movie. It's a good action. The plot, for the most part, is basically the Predator it's like I guess it's a coming of age because he is seen as the weakest of his clan. His dad, from the first scene, his dad wants his brother to kill him because weakness. There's no weakness in the clan. So like the dad literally pulls up to his brother. He's like, the dad looks to the brother. He's like, why is this still here? So like the brother, he protects his younger brother because basically he wants to prove himself by hunting this creature that no one has hunted before. Even the father is scared of it. So he's like, I'm going to prove myself. I'm the weakest. So I must kill the strongest to prove myself. That's his mindset. So right before then, that's when the dad comes in to kill him. Brother protects him, sends him off to that planet. And now he's basically like, I'm going to, you know, hunt this thing. And then I'm going to get revenge for my brother back at home. So that's kind of like the main premise of it. There's some other things that are going on in the background, but overall, fun ride. Like I said, I'm not in tune to Predator, so I know some people are going to be like, you. I don't know anything about Predator. So from someone who is very casual, I enjoyed it. So.
Don't feel bad. There's not really much lore to Predators unless you just a super mega fan. They look cool. They hunt. They kill. Simple as that, man.
I'm not yet. So there, but it does from what I know about like some of the movie franchises. It looks like they are potentially setting up a modern Aliens versus Predator movie, from what I can tell based off of the movie. So that might be something to look forward to. So there you have it. But yeah, if you have seen the movie, let me know what you guys think. And let's move on to the news. So we got two big news topics to cover. The first one, I'm going to pass off to Detrell. One, I've been doing a lot of yapping. I'm pretty sure y'all are tired of hearing me talk. I'm tired of hearing myself talk. So I'm going to pass this off to Detrell because we were talking about this in one of our previous in our PlayStation parties. He brought up some really good points, so I'm gonna pass this news topic off to him. Go ahead and tell us about the alleged console killer, the boogeyman that everybody on the internet has been talking about, the Steam machine.
So the thing about this podcast that I love is that we do it on Sundays. We get you a nice episode in the start of the week. The thing I hate about this podcast is that we do it on Sundays and we talk about stuff about last week on the start of the week. So you guys know about the Steam machine and that it came out already. You already know Gabe Newell gave y'all precious thing and things of that nature, and Valve is y'all Lord and Savior. Cool. I want to tell you niggas, look at me when I tell you this. I'm not even going to put my Nostradamus cap on. Leave that right there. But I'm going to look at you. Look at me when I tell you this, niggas. It is not a console killer. It will not be able to compete with a Switch and or PlayStation 5, maybe not even an Xbox Series X. The reason I say this, one, it is still a mini PC. I don't think gamers know the difference when Steam and like the AMD Xbox thing, when they port over these handhelds, that they're not a console like a Switch handheld. It is a mini PC as a handheld that you play games on. People not thinking about that, right? Not thinking about that. It is a mini PC. So all the bad things, which is not a lot, all the bad things that come with having a mini PC as your primary gaming system is going to come with that. And let me tell you this right now. Console niggas don't like that. They don't. Now, for a hardcore gamer like Cam, like myself, like Chris 30 years ago, we all will go through the throes of having a gaming PC or go through the problems of updating drivers and things of that nature. It is what it is. A console nigga was to turn their game on, hop in the party, and play 2K. That's it. I want to give you a couple of scenarios why the Steam machine won't take over consoles, right? Any smart nigga will tell you the reason why not. But I want to dumb it down for people who having that conversation. The reason Steam machine won't take over consoles is, one, the reason a console base is so large, those games have poor communities on the PC. 2K, poor community on the PC. A nigga from 2K is not going to hop off his PlayStation and play 2K on the Steam machine, even if the online is free. Who cares? He's going to pay his, subscription to Xbox and or PlayStation and play 2K for the rest of the year until the next one come out. Call of Duty. That anti-cheat on your PC or Steam machine stops the Call of Duty, other than like really Warzone and stuff, on PC from exploding. They don't like that. They like their Call of Duty on console. PlayStation, as a system, as a company, I should say, went through a whole legal battle for a year and some change with Xbox over the acquisition of Blizzard and Activision, not because they thought, oh, this is too crazy, they built a monopoly. No, they didn't want their number one game,
Call of freaking Duty, to be
Call of Duty
to Xbox.
That's how big that base is on PlayStation 5. They will not switch over. It won't happen. The Steam machine is, unfortunately, for people like Cam and people like me who want a novelty game system for when they say, I
Very
don't want to
niche.
hop on my computer.
Very niche.
Very niche. I'm going to flip my Steam machine on and play my Steam games on said machine because I don't feel like going to my desktop. I want to sit down on my bed. I want to sit down on my couch. So let me hop on the Steam machine right then and there. It is not going to be everybody's new home system. And brother, I will bank you
In the
on
year
that.
in our Lord Savior 2026, by the way, this is coming out, or not, it's not coming out next year, but like this is coming out on the tail end of the next console generation. No.
No. Also, I want to get you this, right? So this is for the real console war niggas, right? And I hate you niggas, but I'm about to come down to your space. That system's not powerful. Though it says it's 4 times as powerful as a Steam Deck.
Which, duh.
Yeah. It is not as powerful as a PS5 nor Xbox. And gosh darn, it's not nowhere near as powerful as a PS5 Pro. It is, all in all, a mini computer. That might sound disrespectful, but this is what they're selling you. They are selling you a mini computer for niggas who don't want to sell their souls and kidneys for a big gaming rig.
Yep.
That's it. Right. And if that's you, cool. But don't say it's going to impede on the juggernaut that is home consoles. Like Sony is at its, this is the PS5. This is its 5th generation. Nintendo is at, I don't know which generation it is, but I'm pretty sure 5th or 6th or something like that.
Nintendo don't give a
Xbox is now the biggest publisher in the world, so I'm pretty sure they don't care. They're just going to say, can we put Game Pass on it? Like, there is nothing in this that will touch me. You think PlayStation and Nintendo didn't be like, hey, there's more competition in the space. We should be scared. Look at what they did to Sega when this stuff came out, right? They turned Sega into a third-party company.
Nintendo said, we own you now, buddy. Come on.
PlayStation
Say we own you.
PlayStation said, Sega CD, that's cool. We throw a PlayStation 1 at you.
Right. More affordable.
Let me show you what this
more
is
games.
Look at this. Oh, Nintendo, we got this. You know what? Let me throw this PS2. Killed the game. Nobody, to this day, nobody can touch what the PS2 did to the generation.
Yep.
So, like, come on. And it's not just Sega. Who else had that? Atari. Atari was a system. Nintendo cooked them niggas to oblivion. Like, so them two juggernauts. And again, Xbox has always been a little brother in this thing. Xbox 360 just was, he went through his puberty stage. He started feeling himself. He was with the big dogs now. But then he got back into his lane.
He started smoking crack. And that's
he got back into his lane. Right? But at this time, like, on my soul, and I will bet money on it, right? Console players are simple. And this is not simple as in to call somebody dumb. I'm saying simple is that they like simplicity. Bro, do you know how relaxing it is to come off of an 8-hour shift, come home, take your shower or whatever?
Eat.
Not even touching the system. You press your controller, boop, you turn around, throw something in the microwave, come back, hop in the party, and chill. This is what we want, right? And for all you real niggas out, let me tell you something right now. It got the internet. My nigga, just say you want to go on your home system, bro. Because that's the only reason niggas care about internet. I kid you not. The only reason niggas
You
care
guys
about
not have phones?
Yeah, that's the only reason niggas care about it. I could go on the website. To do what? You want to watch YouTube? Use the app on your PlayStation or your laptop.
Or your
That's
phone.
what you want to use. That's what you want to use the internet for. Nah, I know what you are. I know what you are. What's that Dokes meme? I know what you are. Like,
that cop on Dexter meme. Like,
yeah, exactly. That is the only reason people care about a internet browser on a system. You want to run the reason why people were so mad you couldn't search on the internet on PlayStation no more? Because they couldn't watch no porn.
Literally, that was the biggest thing on the PS4 was porn.
That's all niggas want to do is watch porn on a system. Like, we got phones. Low-key phones are faster.
Saying.
I bet. Look, like,
VPN, incognito tab, boom, there you go.
Yeah, come on. So, all I say, y'all can have y'all little things because, I didn't want to rant, but I can rant. I can really go into detail how stupid you niggas are when it comes to these things, but I'm not. I want to let it show to yourself. Now, one last thing. If you are a parent watching this and you are saying, should I get my kid one? There's a couple of things that you want to go down. How old is your kid? If your kid is not above the age of like 13, 14, 15, get them a console. Don't give them the Steam machine because if you don't know how to deal with Linux, they don't know how to deal with Linux. So get them a home console. Now, if he's up in the age and he said he want all these PC games, you're strapped for money, so you don't want to pay for online services and stuff like that, get it for him. But if he's saying, I play 2K, I play Madden, I play Call of Duty, console that little nigga.
Also, honestly, it's even more simpler than that. If you're a parent, if your kid does not approach you and say, I want a Steam machine, then don't. Because 9 times out of 10, you don't know what the Steam machine is, bro.
So y'all don't have to go back and review. I'll give you two niggas questions, right? What is the price point that this game has to be set at in order it to be a purchase for you, or so what do the Steam machine need to be set at price? What's the price?
It's not gonna happen at all. I don't think it will, especially given what our economy is set up nowadays. But it would have to be on par or less than the Switch 2. Because at this point, I'm telling you, even though people are gonna get mad at me when I say this, if you literally ask me, like, and again, I know the rollout of the Switch 2, a lot of people were not fans of it, but like, I would buy a Switch 2 10 times out of 10 than get a Steam machine. Like, I'm sorry. I get it. We hate Nintendo, but like, when Nintendo lock in, bro, they release bangers. Even their mediocre stuff is good. So it's like, and then I kind of want to preface this too with what you said, Detro. I think a lot of people underestimate how big casual gaming is. I think a lot of people don't understand that people who are like us, who are like really into gaming, make up a very small percent of the overall wide gaming community. And before people say anything, I have a custom built PC that I spent a ton of money on. I got a gaming laptop. I have the PS5, Xbox Series X. I have the PS4, the PS3. I have the Nintendo Switch. I have the Nintendo Switch 2. I got a PlayStation Vita. I got a PSP. I got a Nintendo DS. I got a Nintendo 3DS. I have the Steam Deck. My boy, I play video games. I'm a gamer. I have no loyalties towards anything. I might have a slight preference towards Sony because I grew up with them and I'm comfortable with playing their controllers, and most of my friends are on PlayStation. But best believe I play games first and foremost. I don't care about any loyalties to any particular company or console. But I find it very funny that now all of a sudden PC fans want to be involved in the console wars, when that's the one thing y'all was making fun of console players for. And correct me if I'm wrong, we've been here before. Do you guys remember when the Steam Deck came out and people were like, Nintendo, watch out, the Steam Deck is out and it's gonna destroy you?
Daytro, where your Steam Deck at, man?
Woo, Ooh, where's my Steam Deck?
Brother,
Where's my Steam Deck?
I'm just
if there is one community of gamers that could care less about a PC or who could care less about console wars, it is Nintendo. Nintendo has the most established gaming community known to man. Nintendo Switch 2 people, Nintendo Switch 1 people did not give a fuck when the Steam Deck came out. And I guarantee you, they have no care in the world about a Steam machine. PlayStation people, we mentioned, mentioned this in the party too, that I want to touch on. Most people flock when it comes to this whole PlayStation versus Xbox thing, right? Most people flock to the system that their friends were playing in. Because most people who are casual gamers, Madden, 2K, Call of Duty, you got your Fortnites, Warzone, whatever, right? Very much multiplayer focused games. So in your own friend group, established friend group, you go where everybody else goes to play those games. So in terms of, but PlayStation is going to be quaking in its boots. No, what's going to happen is the PlayStation 6 is going to drop. Most people are going to stay with their PlayStation 5s for about 2 to 3 years. Maybe they'll upgrade if they catch that on sale. Us, me and Daytrail, will most likely be getting that game. Release year, release date when it drops. But for the most part, PlayStation people will stick with the PlayStation economy because most of their friends are going to stick with it. And that's what they grew up on. They don't care about a Steam machine. Maybe, I will give you this to play devil's advocate. You might have Xbox people. Maybe, because the future of Xbox hardware is up in the air right now. They're talking about building maybe like a gaming rig, and depending on how expensive that thing is, you might get the Xbox community. Cool. PC people, I have a question to ask you. Are you willing to downgrade? Because most hardcore PC players, you have your own custom built powerful rig. In what world are you going to intentionally downgrade to a Steam machine?
It makes no logical sense.
Because let's bring it full circle. That's what y'all used to make fun of console players for. The PlayStation, Xbox Series X costs $500, $600. What would y'all say? Save up that money and build you guys a PC that will run better. Genuinely, I don't think I've ever seen a case where I'm just looking at people react to this and I'm going like, what? In what universe is this thing going to be a console killer? Like, have we not learned from the Steam Deck? Like, again, Nintendo does not care. Nintendo people are not going to care. Sony people are not going to care. Maybe you got some Xbox people. And PC people, you guys yourselves, you have way better performing systems. Because there's nothing the Steam machine is doing that your own custom built $2,000 PC is not already doing and better. You can, PlayStation, you do that on your PC. Like, I guess maybe if you want to sit on your butt and play a console, fine. But again, I don't understand this whole logic because it makes no sense to me. I'm gonna stop ranting, but like I was thinking about this before we recorded the podcast, and I'm going like, have we really come full circle where PC people have become the console war fanboys? Where like you guys used to make fun of us and just go like, just switch to PC. You could just build your own custom PC that runs better. And now you guys want us to waste money to purposely downgrade to something that is going to perform less than the thing that you wanted me to invest into? Okay.
It makes no logical sense, man. And I'll just give my thoughts. Look, man, this economy sucks. So, like, to answer Deja's original question, the price range has to be around the Switch 2. And while Ken was talking, I was like, let me just make sure I'm know the price of everything. A Switch 2 is $500. And then I just have to look at the price of a Steam Deck. I think the most expensive one is $800. So with that said, that thing will have to be about a $600, $700 investment, but it might be a $900 investment because this is supposedly not a handheld, it is a console. So this supposed home console Steam Deck is going to be probably a $900, maybe $1,000, $1,200 investment for in terms of spacing too. That's just factor in space because they might hit you with the you get that 512 gigabyte, but for like 800, but you're gonna get for 1,000, maybe even 1,100, you get like two terabytes. The finesse for a lesser PC. A PC that the Steam machine might not even be greater than my PC, and I haven't upgraded this since I got it. So who knows? But with what Ken was saying, the PC gamers have officially become what they supposedly were never supposed to be.
You become the very thing you've sworn to destroy.
It's like, okay, for people that I'm gonna even put this in the perspective that some people they might be in denial, like, no, I'm not. Let's use a certain event that occurred last year in hip hop. Kendrick Lamar stands are the gravity of hip hop. They have became what they hated most. People who look at numbers, who look at like engagement,
Drake stands,
and all of that. All the things that you hate Drake for doing. Drake and other like popular rappers. Numbers. You telling me numbers? Even though this man has been popular way before that, who cares about that? You became what you hated most. But the only difference is you want your mans to be number one. And that's what PC games right now. They're using the Steam machine, the Steam Deck, all of that as a way to be like, we want to be number one. We want to be acknowledged. We want to be in people's homes. But who cares? Because at the end of the day, no matter in what industry, whether it's in music, gaming, movies, whatever, the casual is who pays the bills for these industries. It's not the hardcore people. It's not the hardcore gamers. It's not the hardcore rap fans. It's not the hardcore music fans. It's not the hardcore movie buffs. They are not the ones that pay the bills. It is the casual. And at the end of the day, if you can't appease the casual people of whatever industry, it don't make a difference.
Justify to somebody who who boots up their PlayStation to play Fortnite, Call of Duty, 2K, and Madden. Justify to them why they should invest into a Steam machine.
And don't sit there and say it's going to look prettier because in their eyes, they don't care about graphics.
They don't care about performance. They don't care They don't care about specs. They don't care about, but you can use your Xbox control. They don't care about that. Justify to them what is the point of going from their PlayStation with all their friends to a Steam machine. That's what the casual audience is. Justify to mama why instead of, Mom, I want the new Switch to play Mario, versus, no, you should get the Steam machine to because you get free access to online and you can plug in your PlayStation or Xbox controller and you got 4K 60 F. I want to play Pokemon.
Simple as that. I want to play Mario Kart, G.
Like, again, this is just a stupid argument. Again, I think the concept of the Steam machine is not bad, but I really do hate the discussion that came from it. Like, y'all just don't understand the community that you're a part of. And it really shows with the conversation that's been around the Steam machine. That's all I got to say. Anybody else got anything to add?
No,
y'all hit the nail on the head.
All right, cool. So let us know your thought. You said what?
I'm about to say, can the next topic, because low key, I've been good at keeping my anger. Now, I want to talk about it, but I've been good at keeping my anger at a minimum. So when we do talk about
it, I'm gonna just let you go first because I really don't have much to say. I don't know about Chris has anything to say. So again, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. What you think about the Steam machine? Is we overreacting? Is you vibing what we saying? Yeah, it is what it is. Let us know. All right, next. We did hint at this. So looking back at it now, Trail, I really do want to put the dunce cap. Like, if I could just edit our podcast and just put a dunce cap on us throughout the entirety of that section, because man, I mean, my expectations were low, but you somehow knocked it out the park, Sony.
My God, I feel so dumb. And I've been joking in the last couple of podcasts of me being like, I know what's gonna happen next. Like the little rabbit with the time clock, pointing at that joint. I know what's gonna happen next. Bro, hey, you could by far the worst state of play that has ever happened in the history of
one of the worst just direct
like I've said,
whatever like this one was, I mean, I'm just staring at my TV like,
what corporate America be saying? Bro, this could have been an email. Oh, this could have been an email. You should have emailed this, bro.
This was terrible. I mean, the Souls community, you guys are eating. There you go. I mean, we got their big reveal. Like, this is how crazy it is in just hindsight. Because usually whenever you watch any of the, like, Nintendo Directs, State of Play, Xbox Showcase, whatever, Game Awards, whatever, right? Advertisement showcases, they usually save the last announcement for some big, like, oh my God, I was not expecting this.
Accessory showcase.
You sat up here and was like, Elden Ring Night Rain expansion. That was your big announcement.
Disrespectful, bro. Disrespectful.
And I guess what they meant when they were talking about beloved series, they were talking about Dynasty Warriors and Fatal Frame. Now, hey, nothing against that, but I don't, because the way this State of Play appeared was kind of like, it was like last minute, like, oh yeah, tune in tomorrow, State of Play. It was like, it really did seem like this was a State of Play that they really, obviously they intended for the Japanese demographic, because I mean they announced the PlayStation 5
only Japanese,
Japanese,
cool, only PS5.
I mean, I guess whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Like, this could have just been something that you premiered only for your Japanese audience, and then you just released a bunch of trailers or just an article or something. But like, because the way you handled it, you kind of knew what you were doing. And like, that's why I'm like kind of mad, is because it's like, yeah, obviously we didn't really set our expectations high. Not supposed to. Again, I was not, the fanboy in me was like, oh, Kingdom Hearts. We weren't getting Kingdom Hearts, obviously. But like, the way you set this up and advertised it, you knew what you were doing 100%. So like, I can't give you slack on that. But yeah, this was trash. And that's all I gotta say.
Big me.
I'm gonna keep it even simpler, bro. Garbage. I don't even want to, because if I keep talking, I'm gonna go there. I feel so dumb. Hey, have y'all ever seen that? This what this PlayStation State of Play reminded me of. Ever seen that Family Guy clip after Peter showed them a movie? And he was like, bro, what was that? And everybody walking out, and then Joe was like, my butt hurts. My butt. Like, bro, what was this? It's terrible, bro. Terrible, bro. No.
Well, man, the PlayStation speak Japanese only. G, no.
What is that?
I was gonna say something crazy. I don't even want to get that, bro.
Again, I'm just stupid. But like, what is? Because like so if people don't know, I bought my PS4 while I was in Japan. So the PS4 that I currently have, I bought it while I was in Japan. I'm just like, we're 5 years into this thing, and you're just like, here's a PS5, not even a Pro, not even anything. It's just a
regular PS5
that is just exclusive Japanese. Like, okay.
And look, man, I ain't about to go there. I keep that. I'm gonna keep that thing in for Threes from the Ring. So I'm gonna keep that running joke on there. So I ain't gonna bring that here. So I'm not gonna go there.
You missed us with this one, Sony. I mean, we literally just went on a tirade against Steam. So I mean, we got to keep the same energy.
But
that TikTok?
Shout out Lil Reese.
And we go. All right, so we go move on. We go wrap things up with our. Again, this is something that we've just been continuing to do throughout the.
Let me relook at these real quick.
As we, Game Awards is coming up soon. I believe this week they're supposed to be announcing the nominees. Tomorrow. So
tomorrow.
By the time you're seeing that, we're recording this on Sunday. The time you're seeing this, it's Monday. So they're supposed to be announcing the nominees for all of the categories. So again, in spirit of that, we want to again take a retrospective look at some of the previous Game Awards and talk about them, see how they line up, and also if those games, looking back on it, deserve that award or not. So we're gonna start with we took a look at 2014, 2015. Now we're gonna be taking a look at 2016 and 2017. 2017 is going to be a little bit longer. I'm just going to put that out right now.
Look, man, I looked at it. I was like, no, we'll have a discussion.
So 2016, again, we're only talking about, we'll talk about a little bit of some other stuff that catches our eye, but we're mainly talking about Game of the Year. So Game of the Year for 2016, these were the nominees. We had Overwatch, Doom, Inside, Titanfall 2, and Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. And Overwatch won Game of the Year that year. It's very funny taking a look back at that now and taking a look at the state of Overwatch now. And it's like, I feel like if you asked any Overwatch fan or someone who played the game, like, did it deserve Game of the War back then? They would probably say, well, looking at it now, they probably say no. But you also have to understand that back in 2016, when this game came out, that Overwatch is the reason why our PlayStation party is the way it is now.
It is. Yeah.
Like we gotta call that out. Like that game made friends. It made the kind of community that we have on our own personal side. So that game has had a huge impact of gaming. So like, I might not be a big fan of Overwatch nowadays. I used to be heavy into Overwatch, even into Overwatch 2. So obviously, like I'd be like, no, but I'm thinking back in the day, in my personal opinion, like again, the impact that it had on our group and the sessions that we would have in terms of Overwatch, I would say yes. But there are like Doom is a big one. I mean, like people look back at this was the remake from id Software, and people loved that game, which led to Eternal, which people think is like one of the best Doom games of all time. Titanfall 2.
Hey, you don't have to. It was a banger.
EA, this is on you, EA. This is on you, EA. You ruined Titanfall 2 because this, again, for some baffling reason, unbeknownst to us commoners, EA decided to release this game not only within the same vicinity, but within the same like 2-week time span as Battlefield 1 and also Call of Duty.
Yep.
Dumb.
Left it to die.
This is also during the month of November, by the way, when this had happened.
Left it to die.
Now, Daytrell and I can speak to this, and also our homie Miles. We was the trio. That was Titanfall 2 was our game when that came out. Banger game. We played so much of that. It was again, to this day, one of, if not my favorite first-person shooter game of all time. Love Titanfall 2. Absolutely amazing, hands down. But you, EA, you ruined that game's legacy.
You let it die.
And Uncharted 4, I can't speak much on it. I never have been that in tune with Uncharted, so I can't speak on how people feel about that now. I don't know. Do you guys see?
I think going back to it, people will look at this definitely as what the heck. But like you said, the overall Overwatch was on TV. Overwatch was that beta still did numbers. Like I have, when you have certain moments in life where you can remember how the area smelt and the feeling that you had when you have a memory. I have that with Overwatch when I was playing the beta, and I got my first Junkrat play of the game with the tire. I was literally at what is that place called? Dorado. I was literally there. Is that what it's called with the big pyramid in the back?
No, that's different. I know what you're talking about though. Dorado is the Route 66 map.
Yeah.
Well,
Dorado was
whatever the map is with the big pyramid in the back. I remember going on that perch right before you get to the second choke. Before you get to the further till you get to the second part with that big gate. Get on that perch, let that joint rip, and I got my first 5K on it. I was like, this game is for me, right? I remember when Roadhog was the most broken character in the game, and we used to play
Roadhog with a mercy pocket.
Yeah, we used to play Elios in a big whale, and if it was another another Roadhog, all it was fighting to see who's gonna go inside the big whale. Overwatch was there, but if you talk about these games in totality, Titanfall 2, crazy, Doom. Eternal is better than original Doom, so I can understand that people don't really care. But Uncharted 4, A Thieves End, and I'll let Chris talk about that more because I'm pretty sure he played it.
Yep.
I'm going through the Uncharted series now and kind of like a backlog thing. I understand, bro.
Uncharted 4.
I understand why people like that series, bro. Like,
I enjoyed it.
Went crazy.
Yeah.
What do you think, Chris?
Just my going back into the time frame because that was. Hey, look, that was my prime, man, because of you niggas. But no, Overwatch was undeniable. Like I remember because I was like, yo, Uncharted was my like in terms of single player game. I'm like, I enjoyed it, but Overwatch was just undeniable. I remember I'm like, no, Overwatch was fun. It's best multiplayer game of the year, hands down. But I'm like, it's not better than Uncharted. To me, it wasn't. It just wasn't. And I think that's how. But Overwatch winning was because how undeniable it was. It was everywhere. Everybody, even you had COD niggas and 2K niggas playing Overwatch for a little bit, bro. You know how hard that is, and like, well, even though that wasn't peak 2K, but you had niggas like that playing Overwatch. Like literally, they're like, you know what? No, I'm actually it changed gaming as a whole, and even how what you call them, journalists or whatever view how they're going to go about awarding multiplayer games and say, oh, wait, a multiplayer game can legit be the best game of the year. It was just that undeniable. I disagree. It should be Uncharted. To me, Uncharted 4 is really the best Uncharted. It's that 2, 3, then 1 in my book. But 4 was just everything that made Uncharted. All the previous Uncharted is great in every way imaginable. Good story, looked good for its time. Also had a black female character who was raw as hell too. She was a real one. But do I? Well, I sit there and say I get it now, but also it should have still been Game of the Year. It should have been Uncharted. I wouldn't even trip if it was Doom because I remember how everybody was talking about Doom, but I'm a man of God and I don't want those type of spirits in my household. So hey, like, look, I'm just being honest. Like, look, I'm sorry. It is what it is. But I get why Overwatch won. It is what it is. Now, it's just looking back at it. No. Well, okay, let's put it that way. 2016 Overwatch, it deserves it. Everything afterwards, hell no.
Yeah, like 2016 Overwatch was like literal peak gaming. Like even no matter who you ask, like again, like a lot of the friendships that we have in our personal lives, we would not have had if it wasn't for Overwatch. So I got to give his flowers when it comes to that. But yeah, just some other things that came out during that year. It's not how crazy that year was. We had Battlefield 1, which many still regard as one of the best Battlefield games ever, next to like I think 4 and maybe some other ones, but like Battlefield 1 is a very highly regarded Battlefield game. You had, so this was, I remember this one, so I think it was Firewatch. This was an indie game. I remember a lot of people talking about that game when it had came out. You had Pokemon Go came out that year, and if you remember the sensation that game was, that was
a good
crazy
2-week run.
Yeah, that was a good. Dark Souls 3 came out that year. Also had a Fire Emblem Fates came out, which is a very controversial Fire Emblem game, but still. So yeah, all in all, 2016 was a pretty cool year. Now we now we get on to 2017.
Look, man.
So
look, man.
This year, this is pretty much like when we talk about when we have this conversation later on when it comes to 2025. It's like it's reminiscent of a year like 2017. 2017 was unbelievably cracked in terms of gaming. So these were the Game of the Year nominees for that year. So we have Breath of the Wild, Horizon Zero Dawn, Persona 5. We have PUBG, which, if y'all remember, PUBG swept in terms of like being a battle royale. And then we also have Super Mario Odyssey. I forgot that Breath of the Wild and Odyssey came out the same year. That is freaking insane.
I know Nintendo has always been a household name, right, in terms of gaming. But I think right there was when Nintendo said, "Nigga, we coming for change in terms of just gaming in general." Like,
y'all think it's just some little cute little handheld system? I bet.
I think it was like we're going to show you like this Mario, this Zelda is not just like your family friendly game that you played when you was a shorty. This is a juggernaut of a series still, because Breath of the Wild, spoiler, is just still to this day. People say if your RPG not like Breath of the Wild, is
literally every game that came out that had open world was referred to as a Breath of the Wild like, and it was the Breath of the Wild. Genshin Impact, which is the biggest gacha game known to man, right? Genshin Impact came out, and what did people say? Anime Breath of the Wild. So this game, and to this day, Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey. Breath of the Wild is regarded as one of the best Zelda games of all time, and Super Mario Odyssey is regarded as one of the best Mario games of all time. And not only that, but you have now Horizon. This is unfortunately when Horizon Zero Dawn was just suffered under a good game that released under a great game syndrome. Shout out to Elden Ring. But you have that again. PUBG was again at its time. Obviously nowadays, Fortnite basically said, "Hey, it's that clip of if you remember Cars 3, where Lightning McQueen's driving, and then the dude's like, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you started. Okay, keep up, old man." You know what I'm saying? That's what Fortnite did to PUBG. And Persona. I mean, we all know how much of a Persona 5 literally saved Atlas. If y'all don't remember, Atlas was bankrupt. This is basically Persona 5 was going to be their swan's song until Sega bought it, and basically they recouped basically off of Persona 5. It sold. It was a global sensation. You had people who never touched a turn-based RPG in their life. People who didn't know anything about JRPGs at all pick up Persona 5, a game that was 100+ hours, by the way. So a lot of people who are used to like short single-player games or anything like that, they picked up this game, played it all the way through, and said it was one of the best experiences they ever had in their entire life. And to this day, Persona 5 is regarded as one of the best JRPGs of all time. And unfortunately, Atlas still keeps milking a dead cow when it comes to that franchise. That's a conversation for another day. But the impact that Persona 5 has had in terms of the JRPG landscape is undeniable. So we are talking about, I hate to use this word, we're talking about icons in the gaming industry. These aren't just like games that came out and people don't know what they are. These are games that you say Breath of the Wild, you say Mario Odyssey, you say Persona 5, that means something. So in my opinion, this is a toss-up, man. Because like, I think I would definitely say that, because I played all these games. Not PUBG. I didn't really play PUBG like that, but out of someone who's played all of these games, I definitely think that Breath of the Wild, like, I'm not mad that Breath of the Wild won it because Breath of the Wild came out in numbers, right? The bias in me, as someone who, again, my favorite genre of video games are role-based, are RPGs, more specifically turn-based RPGs. So I would say Persona 5 because I played the absolute out of that game and I enjoyed every second of it. But I understand. I'm not mad that Breath of the Wild won. I can see basically between Breath of the Wild, Persona, and Mario Odyssey, deserved, in my opinion. So that's it for me. What y'all got, Detro? What you got?
Give me 1 second, Fono. Like I wanna see if you're still going to, go because Nier came out that year. So forget about PUBG.
Yeah. Oh snap! Automata did come out that year.
And I want to tell you, I don't care. Kill me, people in the comment section. For me personally, my favorite game that came out that year, and I think the best game that did come out that year, is Final Fantasy 15. Skip all of the other stuff that came in Game of the Year, bro.
Final Fantasy 15 did come. Oh my god! Yeah.
So skip all.
And Mario Kart 8 came out that year.
Bro.
Sonic Mania came out.
Year.
Bro, Cuphead came out that year.
The South Park
Fractured Butthole came out that year.
Yep.
Neo came out that year.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Yeah,
Even fighting game wise, this was crazy.
Hollow Knight,
Justice 2 and Tekken 7.
Hollow Knight came out that year too, bro. 2017, yeah, dude. 2025 is 2017 part 2.
No, but seriously, I would have to say, like, just on the JRPG side, 3 juggernauts. Say what you want about Final Fantasy 15 and what it, basically
still did extremely well for Square Enix.
So, like, it probably got the whatchamacallit treatment, like the Cyberpunk treatment. It got better throughout the game cycle. Still a banger of a game, right? And a great game to introduce people into the action combat of what the Final Fantasy series.
Oh, Resident Evil 7 came out this year too.
Yep.
I don't understand, like, how PUBG got there, bro. And it's not for me to be disrespectful to PUBG. I understand it exploded. But I don't think it exploded like Fortnite, nor did it explode like Overwatch in terms of multiplayer games. To me, I know everybody was playing it, but it wasn't like for a minute, it was only on PC. So I don't even know if you really want to count.
I think that's what kind of gave it that boost was the because sometimes with Gaming Awards, they will give like, oh man, this is a really crazy, great PC game. And explode it with love, just pour into it, be like, nah. Plus, it was looked at as like, oh man, it's a very technical, free for all type game. It was because it was different.
Like at this point, this was like when the Battle Royale love was debuting. Like it started. Obviously, Fortnite again. Fortnite basically was like, nah, this is us now. But PUBG introduced that to this concept to a lot of people who weren't familiar with it. And really made people go like, oh, this is really cool. I can understand it from that, but I get what you're saying, Detro, because like, man, there's a lot of games on this list that I'm like, man, and especially like, again, you look at something like Nier Automata, people don't realize just how insane, like Nier Automata is like the best game that nobody played because
the only musical score that you can compare to Nier is probably Persona, and Nier probably beats Persona by this much.
I'm telling Nier Automata's soundtrack. I know a lot of people who are deep into I'm playing the Persona 5 OST in the background, but Nier Automata's OST genuinely like otherworldly. Like there's nothing that, in my personal opinion, it deserved that score. It deserved that award. Nothing comes close to it in my opinion.
I think it's such one. I know what you're saying. Oh, bro, it can't get better than this. Spoiler alert, next year is also a crazy year. The year after that is also a crazy. I think from 2016 to where we at currently, except for probably 2021, whatever it takes to one, that was kind of a down year in gaming. But from then on,
Oh
Gaming
yeah,
has,
I'm looking at next year. Yeah.
gaming has been crazy. This is what I can't. You can't tell me when somebody say gaming has been bad, bro. Because
You don't play
even
video
if you
games.
never even played these games at their start, these games right now hasn't aged poorly. None of them aged poorly. Probably PUBG because it's a multiplayer game. But
You literally all of these games that we talked about that are single player, you can go back right now, genuinely, hands down, you're gonna have a great experience.
Yep.
like playing Nier is I would say Nier is a hard game to get into, but once you get into it, one of the greatest games of all time, right? Final Fantasy Royal Edition literally made the first iteration that game came out, made it seem like scum, kind of like what Cyberpunk is now to PS4 Cyberpunk. That Royal Edition is a completely different, like,
It made the game significantly better.
Then you go to, what I can say, Breath of the Wild. You can't even, come on, like, no need to even continue with that. Breath of the
Mario
Wild,
Odyssey, come on, like Mario
Odyssey. Again, people are still waiting for the Mario game for the Switch too, bro. So that's where we get even with that, which I think we'll probably get with the cap on at this Game Awards. We'll probably get that trailer soon. But
RIP to the Mario designer guy. I think the OG designer passed away. RIP folks.
RP folks.
Yeah, RIP him, bro. Throw a lot in the sky for that nigga, man. I hope he enjoyed the PlayStation 5 that speak natively Japanese in heaven, bro. I hope he enjoyed that.
What is that, man?
Hey, when Nintendo make that Switch 2, they only speak.
That's
Japanese.
only available. Like, what is that?
But no, seriously, I think, bro, the reason I'm doing this, right, is one, I'm working on a video that hopefully I can get done soon. And two, I want people who listen to us to understand that every year there's something amazing that's coming out in video gaming, bro.
Yeah.
Every freaking year. This year is crazy, right? And I mean, like, me and Cam are trying to catch up to these games, bro. We are the two niggas that play more games than probably 99% of the population on this earth is trying to catch up to these games.
I am significantly behind on so many games I play.
I'm playing KCD. I gotta get through KCD2 and Hades before the Game Awards, bro. Do you know how hard that is? I don't even think it's possible to say the truth. But I gotta get through those two games before the Game Awards start, right? I don't even want to tell you what Chris said. Chris still got to play Ragnarok. So it is
like, what?
So, yeah.
He washed, bro. He washed. It's all good, man.
No, like, and I want people to understand, even though Expedition 33 is about to lay their nuts on you and on your favorite game.
They definitely about to
drag them.
They about to be everywhere.
Even though that's going to happen, that doesn't mean gaming isn't at its best. We are at a mountaintop of gaming right now from these years that I don't think people have ever seen, like we have ever been in the history of like gaming, right? Like the ecosystem, like there been a time in gaming when there was literally only sports games that people played and all the other niche stuff nobody talked about. There was a time when JRPGs was looked frowned upon.
Yes,
and people looked at you as a weirdo.
You weren't just any type of nerd. You were that nerd that they made fun of back in school.
Yeah, that's not like that. That was a time, right? The only time people really wanted action games were if it had Grand Theft Auto in front of it. Like that, we lived in those times. And by people, I mean like casuals in the big space of gaming, not niche. I understand the people who play wet on their PlayStation or Xbox 360, and they're going to tell me, no, I've been playing these type of games since forever. I understand you, nigga. But I'm talking about the bigger space. Right now, everybody who owns a system know what Expedition 33 is. 15 years ago, guarantee you that would not have happened.
That game would have flopped.
That game would have flopped.
That is not even a hot take. And again, you could trace it back. Again, we talked about 2017. You could trace it back to Persona 5.
Yeah.
Persona 5 literally mainstreamed role-based. Like I hate to say it because some people are gonna like, no, it didn't. But like you literally had people who never in their entire life touched or sniffed a JRPG in their entire life pick up Persona. It made that genre it made games like Expedition 33 possible to come out and explode.
Because we hate to be the nerds in this situation, but the stigma that lasted for turn-based RPGs until Persona 5. There was a stigma, yo. And people are going to say, no, what about Final Fantasy 7? Yes. Outlier, bro. Flat out outlier, G. What about Chrono Trigger? Outlier, bro.
Outlier. Again, in terms of just wider casual acceptance.
Outlier, bro. Even at the casual aspect, 7, you learn about 7 once you get into this hobby more and more.
Yeah.
You learn about how great Final Fantasy 7 is. If you just a nigga who play regular video games, man, I'm not playing that Roblox looking game. Like that's how it'll be. But you learn about how great 7 is the more and more you get into this hobby. Same thing with like Chrono Trigger. Same thing when you learn about Souls likes and stuff like that. You learn like, all right, cool.
Dragon Quest.
When we get to the year Elden Ring come out, people forget. Elden Ring came out a year where Ragnarok was actually fighting. That was like them two literally clashed to see who was going to win game of the year. And it wasn't like a Spider-Man Baldur's Gate type thing in which everybody was telling Spider-Man fans, your game is not that good. Like it was a real legit,
really good game.
Like Ragnarok.
Baldur's Gate.
So it's people don't understand this hobby we at, and you need to play these games and get into before we get to a dead period, because it can't happen. First couple years of that PS4, horrible period. 2014, terrible period in gaming. It was nothing. The first time when that PS4 released and the PS3 cycle, bad. Niggas were still playing The Last of Us. Like we was playing The Last of Us
remaster. When that thing came out, boy, that thing was oof.
You was just waiting on GTA to get the next gen release when the PS4 came out. It was bad in the early. And then we got some bangers to come out to make that system the system that we all love and have fond memories of. And I feel the same thing is happening for this generation now. Right now, in the beginning, it was a little scary. The PS5, Xbox Series, a little scary. But now we looking back. When we gonna look back, in this generation, it was like for first party games, hit or miss. But if we talking about third party, damn, we got Expedition 33. Damn, we really did get Baldur's Gate on the systems. Damn, bro, the Final Fantasy remakes was fire. Like when we gonna look back at this generation, we're gonna be like, it was some heaters, bro. And we're gonna end it off with GTA 6, which is also absolutely insane. So again, I just think to end this conversation, if y'all want to end it, it's I love celebrate games. If y'all don't understand anything I do on this, my job of this podcast is to celebrate these games. I might rant at dumb communities because communities are dumb, but I celebrate these games, bro. I celebrate the beauty of them, the hard work it takes. And I love for us to look back and have those moments to be like, I remember when I played Final Fantasy 15 for the first time and how that felt. I remember Cam was more anticipated for that game than I was, because I didn't even know what it was. I didn't even know what that game was.
Yeah, put me on. Look, that was a moment, G.
We're literally, y'all, like, do y'all remember the day the game got delayed by several months? Like
yes.
The day, because I was like, oh, the game is coming out. Well, I think it was supposed to originally come out in like May or something like that, and it got delayed until I believe it was like November or like sometime during the fall. And I remember because I was at my cousin's birthday party. I literally remember getting the text like, yeah, Final Fantasy 15 got delayed. I was like, no way. Like I remember times like that, and I remember
getting it for my birthday, G. Like I remember because y'all hyped it. I was like, no, they don't want this. And then like, put me on. Like, all right.
I remember when the demo came out and Cam played that demo for a crap ton, bro. I remember that, G. I remember
played the crap out of that demo. I was like, I need this.
I remember the day the game dropped and the little whole Ifrit fight thing, bro. I remember this like it was yesterday. I remember when he told me to play Persona, and I was like, all right. I remember nobody was in the party. I think this is the time, Cam, you probably had a job, so you was at the job.
Yeah.
And Nobody else is in a party. I'm like, let me play this Persona. And I remember hearing that music. I'm like, okay. And then I remember when you was playing as Joker and you going through the casino and you jumping from ledge to ledge.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And then I remember that when you finally got into the combat, I'm like, yep, this time.
And look, Persona got me through one of the roughest times of my life, G. Look, that's a special place in my life, G. Come on, man.
That's what I mean. And if you, again, I hate talking about gun basketball gamers, but if you missing out on this type of stuff, just expand your horizon, dog.
It don't take much, man.
33, I usually call stuff overrated if it gets this much glaze. It's like that, bro. It's like that. You go back. It's you want to know how much like that it is? Because if you play another game this year, you have to compare it to that. You have to be like, does this stack up?
Every time a game comes out that's hype, people say, is it better than Expedition 33? And that's a conversation.
Your name not Hades 2 or Silksong, and we speaking objectively, by the way. If your name is not Hades 2 or Silksong, I feel sorry for you and you think you about to win this joint for now. My favorite, now that Dispatch is sitting at a 90, my favorite game might not even get nominated, bro. And it be like that. I can't. Dispatch at a 90, bro. What can I do?
Dispatch is basically to knock some of them favorites off the list, bro.
Bro, and I'll end it with me talking with this. I woke up out my sleep getting ready for work, zipping up, getting, washing my face. I look at my phone, perusing through Twitter, Dispatch final Metacritic score 90. I'm like, yep. All right, Death Stranding 2. I'll see you, bro.
Hey, we might get action game of the year. Hold on, you know what I'm saying?
We ain't getting that either.
We might get best graphics. Hold on,
we ain't getting that either. Shout out to Expedition 33 for taking that too. To be honest with you, if Death Stranding 2 win anything, it will win best performance for Higgs, for Troy Baker.
Yeah, I can see
that's the only thing. That's the only thing I can see it win. Other than that, if he don't win that, 9 times out of 10 is going to go to who played Verso?
Troy Baker.
No,
Troy Baker played Verso. Ben Starr.
Ben Starr, who's on a crazy streak of voice actor right now. It's either going to go to Ben Starr or the chick who played Mael. She did fantastic too. So
yeah, I think they probably will both get nominated.
I don't think they do Norman Reedus. I think because Troy Baker outshined Norman Reedus in this game. Like Higgs, every scene Higgs was in, he stole the show. So I'll be shocked if Troy Baker don't get a nom. But Troy Baker, the chick who did did that Hellblade 2 game came out this year? No, I think that was last year.
That was last year.
But no, it was the guy who probably voiced Kingdom Come Deliverance, who probably voiced Henry. He again, definitely the 2 from Expedition 33, and probably a game I can't even think of right now. Probably, I doubt if they give something to because he's fairly new in his voice acting game for video games, I should say. The guy who did Dispatch, who played the main character.
No, he's been in there.
No, his name, but no, that's dude from Breaking Bad.
Aaron Paul.
Yeah, Aaron Paul. I hate him because of that voice in Invincible.
Oh yeah.
That, to this day, still hate whatever that shocker nigga was, bro. I hated him, bro. That nigga sizzled up his kids. He wanted to turn into Kratos, not whatever you turned into. But but that's it for me. We can end it here if you want to, Ken.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot to end it at. So we'll go ahead and end things here. Nice little discussion. Wanted to, again, this is something that we're going to be continuing on throughout our next couple podcast episodes as we are gearing up for the Game Awards 2025. Let us know your thoughts on any of the topics that we discussed on this podcast. I want to hear your thoughts again. Love it when you guys watch the video, when you like the video. We really want you guys to comment. We want to engage with y'all. So please, please, please engage with us. I try to respond to all comments, negative or positive. It is what it is. I know I'm on the internet, so I'm ready to roll with the punches. So with all that being said, guys, if you stuck around for the whole thing, again, you a real one, and we definitely appreciate you. Again, like and subscribe if you have not. With all that being said, guys, God bless. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you next time.
Be smooth, y'all.
Peace.